the real on Ben Simmons. He's both a victim and a beneficiary of expectations. And let me explain this. Ben Simmons was one of the most highly touted dudes coming out of high school. He was marketed to us as like the next LeBron. Got 6'9", 6'10", handle the basketball, can pass, stout, athletic. Okay, looking like brother. Okay, he gonna be one of them one. But then, instead of being able to just come straight out of high school like Bron, he had to make a stop. You know, he ain't that one and done there. He had to make a stop at LSU. And at LSU was a lot of question marks because they didn't even make the NCAA tournament. And I remember my brother Tim G. Jacob was like, hold on, man. Like, bro, you supposed to be like that and you can't even make the tournament out of the SEC. Like, I know the SEC got Kentucky, but then, you know, it's a football conference. You supposed to be the man. You supposed to be the preeminent basketball player. But hey, you know how it is in basketball. You dominate that AAU circuit or you dominate high school and everything like that. You coming in with that promise. Man, you stay on this college campus 6 months or whatever like that, you dip out, you still gonna get drafted, dog. And it did. So that's where he's the beneficiary of expectations. Those expectations got him drafted high and, you know what I'm saying, viewed as the man and everything like that. Come in and getting this money and getting this acclaim, woo, woo, woo. But here's why he's a victim. Because he never should have been viewed like that. Now that we see Ben Simmons in his totality, he never should have been viewed like that. We have the full thing now. We see the picture. We saw it in LSU, but we were like, okay, you know, we anti this one and done. Why you even making these kids come to college? You know what I'm saying? I think that shit. I even said some of that. He like, okay, I understand that he checking out. He don't even want to be there. He shouldn't have to be there. You know. But then it's still question marks about, oh, but since you are there, don't you want to compete? That should have been a question mark to a lot of people in the league, to a lot of media guys. It should have been a question mark. This whole stuff about not shooting, you know, not being able to shoot the basketball. He's been like that the entire time. It should have been a red flag. But I guess the assumption was that, hey, you can teach that. You can't teach 6'9", 6'10". You can't teach that court vision for real like that. You can't teach that athleticism. But we can pull a Tony Parker. You know how they, the Spurs, they worked on Tony Parker and got him a jumper. So we don't do that. But weren't there question marks about his work ethic? See, he's a victim of these expectations, because if the expectations were lowered, we would view Ben Simmons totally different. If the expectations were lowered, Ben Simmons might be on the Hall of Fame arc if he was on the proper team. Roll with me. Ben Simmons does not want to shoot. He wants to play defense. He wants to pass the ball. Just doesn't want to shoot. Sound like Draymond Green. Draymond Green will shoot, but goddamn it, he doesn't need to. Yeah, I see Draymond shooting that three. He's regressed with shooting that 3-point. It's bad. you watch the playoffs, motherfuckers don't even be guarding him. They be way off with Draymond. He be looking to pass. He's basically the point guard for the Warriors. And it works. Why? Because you got Steph out there, you got Clay out there, now you got Jordan Poole out there. Goddamn, it's fine. It'll work. How did that shit look when Steph and Clay were gone? Y'all remember Barkley and others were making jokes about Draymond having a triple single. Remember that? The triple single. That shit didn't look as good with Draymond not having those shooters around him, did it? Now you might argue, well, man, what you expect? He ain't got the, best players on the team with him. Okay, well put Draymond on another team that doesn't have shooters like that. Drop Draymond off in another system when he ain't got them busters on the team with him. Drop Draymond over there in Philadelphia. Swap him out. Does Draymond thrive next to Embiid? I don't know. I'm really asking. Maybe y'all think he does. Draymond is a better leader than Ben Simmons. Maybe Draymond is able to get something out of Embiid. Ben ain't got the leadership component. Let's go to somebody else though, who didn't want to shoot, wanted to play defense, wanted to rebound, but definitely didn't want to lead. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is in the Hall of Fame. Dennis Rodman is on the NBA 75 team. And I believe he deserves to be in both. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I believe he deserves to be on the NBA 75. But Dennis was never even the second best player on a championship team. He got 5 of them things. But if you go to the Detroit Pistons of the 80s, you got Isaiah Thomas, you got Joe Dumars before you get the Worm. If you go to the Bulls, come on, you got Jordan, you got Pippen before you get the Worm. So why did it work? Look at who I said. You got leadership. You got dogs. Say what you want about Zeke. Zeke was a dog. I've said some things about Zeke, in his back and forth with Mike and all that shit. I love Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas was a dog. That was a team full of dogs. Joe Dumars, a dog, two-way player. All defensive team guy. You understand me? You go to them Bulls. Yeah, you got Phil with his leadership, but shit, you got Michael Jordan leading. You got Scottie Pippen leading. They gonna goddamn handle Dennis. Embiid ain't one of them kind of guys, man. Embiid ain't got that kind of leadership. He ain't got that. So the expectations of Ben Simmons should have been different. He should have never been seen as the next LeBron. Some of these question marks next to Ben Simmons were not next to Bron. Bron hit the ground running. Was his jump shot the best in 03? No. But he would shoot that motherfucker. Hell, by year, 3? Bron was averaging 30. So folks gotta just pump the brakes on this next guy. Pump the brakes on that. Like I'm seeing folks talking about Ja Morant. is the next Allen Iverson and shit like that. Pump the brakes. Let's see. Let's see. Y'all be forgetting who these people were. He should never have been viewed like that. If he was viewed as a guy who wants to play defense and who wants to he can rebound at 6'9", 6'10", wants to pass the basketball. So then you know how to form your team. You know who to put around it. Shit, Phillies probably should have kept Jimmy Butler. Let and let Embiid be the one, let Jimmy be the two, and then let Ben fill in from there and set them guys up and play stellar defense. That's what should have happened. And Ben ass should have came on and played this year. Should have got his ass out there with Kyrie and Kevin Durant. You wouldn't have to shoot. Set them, just set them up. Set them up. And you can shut up some of your fucking haters. Go out there and play stellar defense like Draymond does. Go out there and set up these shooters like Draymond does. And help them win games. They needed some defense. That's what they needed. They needed some defense. Because as much as those Celtics were touching them up, they weren't physical enough. They ain't have it in them to touch them up. Kyrie and KD, they ain't never seen no all defensive team. Ben Simmons has. Should have came on out there. You know? And I know he has the mental health concerns, but again, it part of and I'm a mental health advocate. But one of the realest things you can do when you're trying to get right with your mental health is to know yourself. Know who you are. And I think Ben got to, realize who he is and be comfortable with who he is. Draymond is comfortable with who he is. Plays his role, does that shit to death. He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame because of it. Dennis Rodman was comfortable with who he was. I told you, Hall of Fame because of it. Ben just got to settle in and realize, shit, this is who I am. This is what I'm great at. And just fuck that shit up. Be the best at it. And just let all that fucking LeBron talk go. Now, on the next contract, will he get what the next LeBron would get? Maybe not. When your ass ain't producing like that, you don't deserve it. See what I'm saying? He's been a beneficiary of now. He ain't got the contract. He's sitting over there with big ass chain on and shit like that. He dating these celebrities and shit. So he's benefited from it. But that shit has victimized him as well. When you were expected to be Robin to Embiid's Batman, and your ass couldn't do that. You didn't want to take a layup. Well, okay, shit. You don't want to be in that position. We've seen other stars, so-called superstars, be shaky mentally. We've seen that. Scotty had questionable shit mentally. The migraine game. The migraine game was probably pressure. I remember one of my young boys. He'll remain nameless. I don't want to put him on blast like that. But we told him that he was going to have to start. He was going to start in this game, big game, rivalry game. All of a sudden, that motherfucker caught a headache, like a throbbing headache. Shit, I had to go try to get this boy some food, try to do something for him. That pressure, motherfucker. Fuck with you. But that's why you gotta really tone down these expectations. Settle in on who you are. and just play basketball. Just play basketball. Either that or do the work and get better. That's what Scottie ended up doing. He did the work and got better. So you go from having a migraine game to go to sweeping a motherfucker. That's what they did. So maybe we see Ben Simmons do the work this summer and then turn up. If not, know thyself, settle in, play your role, and be the best at it. We'll see. But I hope the brother gets it right. I hope. Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com, and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.